Yo, what's up, Nidal? This is Alex, man. We met at your dad's cologne perfume shop long time ago. Last time we spoke, man, I think you're trying to open up a restaurant. Just want to catch up with you, man, see how that's been going for you. And yeah, just catch up.
You know, I've never told this story or these stories to anyone. The funny thing is, like, not a single person has ever asked me what the slogan on the back of our shirt means, which is even more crazy, but you know. Back in college, I had this internship in downtown for an investment firm. And as I was approaching graduation, it was now time for my manager to decide if they should invest in me for the long term or not. I remember my manager scheduling a one-on-one to talk to me about my future, specifically with the company. And throughout our conversation, he asked the usual generic probing questions. But at one point, he asked some questions that struck me. We get asked these questions so many times throughout our lives on a daily basis, but I think most of us fail to truly internalize them and answer them with conviction and with a sound heart. He asked, Nadal, what is it that gets you fired up in the morning? What are you most passionate about? What makes you happy? And as simple as these questions are, I remember sinking back into my seat, and I got quiet and the silence was loud, and after a few moments I finally sat up and I looked him in the eyes and I told him, I find utmost happiness when I'm able to help a person in need. Every morning that I would drive to that office, I would always find this man at the corner of Summit Ave and 30 asking for help. And while we all sat there in our cars waiting for the light to turn green, naturally I would always sneak a little look, a curious peek at this man. And always he looked sad, he looked down, alone. You can tell it sucked the life out of him to just stand there in humiliation asking for help. And every single day, the same thing would happen again. I would see him there, ignored, as we all went about our business. And day after day after day, my emotions would get compounded over and over and over again until I had this overwhelming sensation here in my chest, where I just wanted to park and get out of my car and, I don't know, just do anything, go have breakfast with this gentleman, not saying a word, but just sit there with him on that corner, sharing a meal together and letting him know that yes, he does exist in our eyes and we do see him. So one morning, I tried to do exactly that. I was dressed, if I recall correctly, in my favorite gray suit, and I remember it was raining. I parked my car to the side of the road, and I made my way to this gentleman when a police officer told me to move and pretty much just foiled my plans, and I could never go back and do it again because I chose to ultimately move on from that internship. That was the catalyst experience, and it led to this defining moment of my life that was about to come. As I left the gas station one night, a man approached me asking for help, and the feeling from the previous man was still fresh in my mind, so I gave this man every single thing that I had in my pocket. And he was taken aback a little bit because he was a little bit surprised. And I used the opportunity and I asked him if he had a minute. I'd love to hear his story. Because, you know, we always wonder, why with so many programs available, why there are so many people that are still living on the streets? And when he gave me his reason, it was twofold for me. On one hand, it was another life-changing moment, and on the other hand, it upset me so much. He looked at me in the eyes, and if any one of you were there, you could see the pain in this man's face. He said he does try on a daily basis, but people don't give him a chance. They always look down at him, and they don't treat me like a human being. We, as a people, I'm not trying to just, be so negative, but there is some truth to it. We as a people, we fail on so many levels on a daily basis. We're very selfish human beings, and we always are concerned by flaunting what we're about to eat and showing other people and showing people, our vacation spots, and it's always about me and me and me, and it's never about him or her, even just a little bit. And we all know the hot restaurants to go eat at, the nice malls to go shop at, the nice places to visit, the hot spots, whatever you want to call it, but none of us know where an orphanage is, or where I can go to volunteer, or where I can go to give. And that's the sad part. So after these few experiences, I made a promise to myself. I said, first, I'm gonna go work in corporate for a few years. Second, I said I will then take a break, leave corporate, which just happened to be on the day of my 4th year work anniversary.
Are you writing your resignation letter? Why do I feel like it's right? Really?
I just quit my job. And lastly, I said I'll find a way to do this man justice. Give back somehow, even in a very tiny, minuscule way, just make this man feel human again. And that's where ZaTaR comes in.
I got these fresh eyes, never seen you before like this. My God, you're beautiful. It's like the first time.
You see, I was taught by a very important person in my life that I cannot be a good individual on the inside if I go to bed feeling satiated while my neighbor goes hungry. And one of the most basic ways to connect with one another is through the basic necessity of human life, food. So my plan was to start a food concept where I can be out there on the streets, mobile, going to people in need and interacting with them with my very own hands. And I planned for 1 year of operating first to get everything down, and which just happens to be right now. And after that, I'd introduce the next phase to everyone. The essence and sole reason of why I started ZaTaR, and I'm introducing it to you now. It's called One for Mario. Now made available on our website, and as a purchase option at our food truck, you have the option to purchase a meal at a deep discount for a person in need. We will have days that we will designate where we gather all these meals together and go out there on the streets, go to areas where we can give. And I want it to be a hands-on experience. So hopefully our wonderful people that visit us can participate. And I want people to come out and to come help distribute with us. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, we're gonna go give these people food and that's it, I'll see you, have a nice day. But no, this is way more than that. At least what I'm envisioning in my mind. This is something I honestly delayed my personal life. When people talk about sacrifices, It's one thing to say you sacrificed, but I literally put my entire life on hold for years so I can do this. So it's very important, and I want to express that urgency to you guys, and I want you guys to see the importance of this and to help and to partake and to buy into this. This is more than just a platform to feed others. I want this to take off. I want to post about these people that I meet. I want to share their stories. I want people to get touched. I want people to get moved, to get moved to action. I want us together to find these people homes, find them shelter, find them jobs, whatever the case may be, find them help in any facet of the word, and ultimately find them a purpose in their lives. Right after I launched ZaTaR, I remember closing business for the day, and I was driving down the street when I finally got that opportunity to give back in this sense. And I pulled over after spotting a gentleman on the side of the road. I grabbed him a hot plate and I ran outside to deliver it. And I say I ran outside because it was raining really bad that day. And I got back in the truck and I drove off. And after a few moments, I completely broke down because I realized something. Not only was it raining once again, but I had given this man the food at the corner of Summit Ave and 30. 6 whole years later, 6 years later, that overwhelming feeling in my chest was finally fulfilled. I really think that we can work together to make a difference, even a small little dent. And as odd as it sounds, I always try to live my life thinking about my obituary and what will it say, what will it highlight as my contribution to the community. This life is way too short, and I'd rather make sacrifices to do something meaningful. And since I'm not selfish at all, I want everyone to partake as well. And I urge everyone seeing this to contribute. Actually make it a monthly commitment on yourself. Come up to the truck, grab some food for yourself, and don't forget to ask for one for Mario. I guarantee you, together we'll make a difference, and you will live and have a much happier life as well. And Mario, if you're seeing this, man, I have absolutely no idea where you are or what happened to you. But your story that night at the gas station, it inspired me and it touched my heart, and I hope this little gesture will make you feel human again.
So suddenly I'm in love with a stranger.
Be a part of the story and have your impact make a difference. Follow the journey at One for Mario and be a part of it at oneformario.com/give.